Alright, in this video, I will explain the source code of the Snake game. Let me run the game before moving forward. I am using asterisk characters to represent window border and snake. Initial length of the snake is always 3 and it will start always from the middle of the window and move to right direction. 0 character is used to represent food and it is drawn at random position. At right side, you can see it displays current length of the snake and score will increase by 10 when snake eat food. Now let's discuss source code. There are 3 files, one main.c file and 2 header files. In draw frame header file, I have included function which draw object on the console window. In snake header file, I have included all required data structure, variables and functions related to snake. And in main.c file, we will create infinite loop to start gameplay and get keyboard input from the user. First, I will go through snake header file. WinX_len and WinY_length define length and width of the gameplay window. Start pose X and start pose Y define starting position of the gameplay window. Start len is the initial length of the snake. S size is the maximum length of the snake. It must be always less than equal to product of length and window. These 4 macros up, DW, RT, LT define directions and used as an index of direction array to get corresponding direction value. And all these 4 constant variables, wx1, wy1 up to wx4 and wy4 are the coordinates of 4 clockwise corner of the window. Let me bring game window to explain this. Here our gameplay window start at 11 unit toward x-axis and 1 unit toward y-axis, which is defined by start pose x and start pose y variables. Gameplay window means the area where snake can move, not the start of window border. First corner of the window border start at 10 unit x-axis and 0 unit y-axis, which is calculated here. Similarly, all windows corner coordinate are calculated. Now we have point 2D structure definition to represent window coordinates. Inside point 2D structure, we have int x and int y variables for x and y coordinates. Here we have snake structure definition. Inside snake structure, we have body variable, which is array of point 2D structure type. We have head and tail to hold snake head and tail coordinate. We have variable dir to store snake current direction, and last one length variable is snake current length. S is global variable of snake structure type. So here S variable represent the snake at any given point of the game. dir array variable is to store all 4 direction. Food array variable is to store all variable coordinate within game window. The function in dir initialize direction array variable by all direction coordinates. The value of up is 0. In 0 index, we initialize up direction, which is negative y-axis, and the value is 0 minus 1. Similarly, down direction is positive y-axis, value is 0 1, and right direction is positive x-axis, value is 1 0, and left direction is negative x-axis, value is minus 1 0. The function int food initialize food variable. The size of the food array variable is equal to size of all available coordinates within gameplay window, which is 800. We will store all the coordinates value in it. The reason behind doing this is to simplify the food drawing process and to check snake eating food condition. We need 2 random x and y values to draw food on the screen. Instead of 2 values, now we can generate 1 random value between 0 and 800. This random value is used as the index of the food variable, and we will draw food at the coordinate value stored in this index. The function int snake initialize initial snake variable as. Inside the function, first loop will calculate initial body coordinates of the snake. Initial length is 3 and snake will always start at 10 y coordinate. So first body coordinate is 1110, second is 1210, and last one is 1310. The last body coordinate is 1310 and it is also a snack initial head coordinate. Here tail coordinate is initialized by 00. This tail variable is to store snack previous coordinate. In tail coordinate, we are supposed to remove asterisk character which was previous tail of the snake. In first frame of the game, we don't have to do it, so I have initialized it by 00, which is outside gameplay window. Initial direction of snake is right toward y coordinate, so I have initialized dir variable by right direction coordinate. Length variable is initialized by initial start length of the snake, which is 3. The function build snake calculates next head coordinate of the snake for next frame of the game. It has two parameters. First one is food coordinate and second one is direction. As you know, snake can be moved directly backward or opposite direction. We will check direction parameter and assign snake current direction by it, if it is not opposite direction. To calculate next head position, we will simply sum direction coordinate with current head coordinate. For example, current head coordinate is 1310 and direction is up 0 minus 1. Then next head coordinate will be 139. Now new head coordinate is added in body array. If next snake head collide with food, then we will increase the length of the snake and return one value. Otherwise, we will initialize tail variable by snake previous tail coordinate and we will swap snake body back to starting from initial index. At last, it will return 0. The last function is check collision. Inside this function, at first we will check if snake length is equal to maximum length, then it returns 2. These two conditions check if snake head collides with window wall, then it returns 1. Inside this loop, we will check if snake head collides with its own body, then it returns 1. At last, if there is no collision, then it returns 0. This is the end of snake header file. I hope you understood all the logic. Now let's discuss draw frame header file. The function draw window will draw window border using asterisk character. It will use pre-calculated window corner coordinate to draw border. The function draw snake will draw initial snake using asterisk character. It will get coordinate from snake body variable. The function draw head tail print asterisk at snake next head position and remove asterisk character by printing space at snake previous tail coordinate. As we discussed before, we do not draw whole snake in each frame. We draw a snake at first frame of the game and after that we will draw head and remove tail. This way we will get a smooth moving snake. And the function draw food prints 0 character as a food at given xy coordinate. That's all for the draw frame header file. Now let's discuss main.c file. These are all required header files. These 5 macros are ASCII value of keyboard input. The first one is for up arrow key. Similarly, this one is for down and this one is for left and right arrow key. This one is for escape key. The delay function is created to delay loop so that we can draw fixed number of frames per second. If you call this delay function by passing 1000 in parameter, then this function will stop application for 1 second. The hide cursor function hides mouse cursor, and all these are function declaration and global variables. Inside main function, we call srand function. This function initialize seed value for rand function to generate different sequence of random value. Here the seed value is time, so based on time, rand function will generate random number. This is function to hide mouse cursor. Now let's go to game main function. Inside this function, I first generate random value and assign it to R variable, which is global variable. Also initialize a dir index variable to set snake direction. Now we will initialize initial game item by calling game int function. Inside game int function, there are functions to initialize direction, food and snake, and we had already discussed about this function earlier, so I will not discuss here. Also, we will call function to draw game window and draw initial snack. And this draw food function draw the food at given value of random value r. After drawing food, we will call game start function. The parameter of this function is random value, which is food location. Also, we capture game status returned by game start function. If game status is equal to 1, then game is over. If game status is equal to 2, then snack reached to maximum length. We ask user to start game again by pressing any key or exit game using escape key. If user press any key except escape key, then we will start game again. Now let's discuss game start function, which is last and very important function. Inside this function, we have do while loop and it is infinite game loop. It will end only if user press keyboard key or snack collide with window wall. At the beginning of loop, we will call delay function to delay loop by 150 millisecond so that there will be roughly 6-7 frame per second. Now we call build snack function and parameters are food and current direction of snack. We check status value returned by the function. If it return value 1, then it means snack has eaten food. So we generate new random value and draw another food on the window. This line calculate game score and displayed on right side of the screen. Here we call check collision function and check the collision status. If there is no collision, then it will call draw head tail function. This function will draw a stick at new snack head position and remove previous tail position. Inside while statement, we have condition to check keyboard input. If user press keyboard, then do while loop will break. This will capture keyboard input value. Now we check keyboard value. If the value is arrow key, then we will change the snack direction accordingly. If keyboard value is escape key, we will exit the game. At last, we will start game if there is no snack collision. And that's all. This is the end of the game source code. I hope you understood all the logic implemented in this game. If you have anything, leave me a comment. Do not forget to subscribe my channel. See you soon in another video. Thank you.